Hi. Oh, hi.
That's what I said.
Yeah, y'all been around a while, from what I've read. Like 10 years? Did I read that right?
No, not quite. I mean, 10 years is not.
That's kind of what we said.
No way it's 10 years. No way.
20. Almost.
20 years.
20 years.
No, I'm kidding.
You never know.
That doesn't make any sense. We've been friends for a really
You're
long
only
time.
18.
We've been friends since we were 5, all of us, pretty much, except Trev.
Yeah.
Trev is like middle school edition, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's still a long time, most of our lives. We started in high school. So it was Sam, Nolan, and I doing jazz. We were doing like Sinatra covers and Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and just the really old school stuff, like jazz and soul. And then we transitioned into writing our own stuff. Started when like college age, and that was like, you know, a good 5 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess before then it'd be like about 7 years. 7 years. I'm 23. I started with 17, so that's like 6 years, 7 years.
Nice. So, every musician has that moment of, God, this is what I want to do. I don't know what your personal moment was, if it was, you know, love the music, to speak out to the masses with your words. I mean, can y'all tell me a little bit about that?
It's different for everyone, I'm sure. Go ahead.
I don't know. That's a really good question, because for me, I feel like it's not like it wasn't like a given moment. Like, it wasn't one moment. I just kind of like, I just like started doing it and never really questioned it, and didn't really like to do anything else, so just kept, you know, just really became extremely passionate about music, just like ridiculously passionate, you know, too passionate. So
much passion.
And you know, and then you just kind of don't stop. When you get past a certain level, I feel like you can't really turn back. There's no point. You know.
Yeah, I think for me, I've always had a fascination with music. Ever since I was a little kid and got my first CD, it was like the Metallica Black Album. And I just remember putting it on and it made me feel a certain way, like a good way. Like I just felt, I was like, wow. Like I feel that this makes me feel a lot of different things. And it was something I was like immediately just drawn to. You know, my parents would always play like live music, DVDs all the time, kind of in the house. So I'd be outside playing, I'd come inside. Usually my stepdad, before my mom would get home from work, he'd be bumping, you know, a Depeche Mode live thing from the 80s or Pearl Jam. So it was kind of always going on in the house and seeing these guys playing on stage, making music, and I just was always fascinated by it. I had gotten a drum kit, I started playing drums, and you know, I remember sitting on a drum kit and playing drums and being like, oh my god, this feels so good. Like this is the best thing I've ever felt. So I think that's for me. Ever since then, I've just kind of been into music. Yeah.
For myself, it's kind of like there's a bunch of different affirmations, like moments that like made it clear, like yes, like this is what I want to do. I really can do this. And then there's moments that are like equally the opposite that I've had, where it's like, I don't want to do this ever again. And I remember the first time was my brother and I were playing, and I was maybe in like 4th grade or something like that, and we were singing AC/DC, and my dad was like, yeah, that was great. That was good. My brother's playing guitar, I was singing. And I was like, sweet. And then the neighborhood got together on like 4th of July, and my brother and I decided to perform this in front of the neighborhood, because we had a big neighborhood that had all the kids gathered around, and he put sparklers in his guitar, and like it was like a whole thing. And I just remember like You know, we're going in, we're doing Back in Black. You know, the whole neighborhood was like, they were pretty much laughing. And I remember like that was like, I don't ever want to do this again. And then, you know, just like several moments where like it would do the same thing. Like a little bit later on, I started singing and worked up the courage again and started singing like the Beatles and Sinatra in 7th grade. I was singing My Way at a recital, and it was like, yes, I want to do this. And then as soon as I got off, I was like, I never want to do this again. And then I stopped for like years until high school, until like we really started the first band, which was like the jazz thing. And a friend of mine in theater was just like, you know, you can do this for a living. Like, you're actually really good, and you can do this. Like, no one had verbalized that to me ever, and it was always like a pipe dream. But it was cool to have somebody like actually just verbalize that for me and just say like, yes, like this is the path that you can be an artist if you choose to be. You can choose that in your life. And that was the biggest like profound moment, I think. You know, where I just like started going down that path of it, you know, and then moments after that just keep reaffirming that we're on this like path. So that's what, yeah, it's not just one moment, it's like, it's several.
Yeah, with every moment of like triumph is like two of the opposite, you know. It's like, you gotta get knocked down 6 times and get up 7 times, to quote a phrase. But that's absolutely true with music. Anything in life, but definitely with music. You get knocked down more than you get brought up. You know?
Make sure this
It's like they say, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down. And I get up again.
About that song.
We all did.
To quote a
You
phrase.
just gotta hear it once.
I was in middle school, so I'm kind of old. So, you know, I got to listen to your album a little bit. I did read in your press release, you know, your biography about like, it's funny that you talk about Sinatra. Because I'm sitting here listening to you guys, and I'm like, I hear the Association for some reason. I don't know if y'all are familiar with them.
With who?
The Association?
Yes,
Yeah.
like they sing the song "Never My Love." They're like hippie '60s,
Okay.
Woodstock,
Nice.
pot smoking,
Okay.
That's cool.
love each
Sweet.
other music.
I don't know nothing about that.
So, you know, I guess like whenever you choose your path of like your sound and whatnot, you know, everyone's a little different.
Yeah.
Like you just made this album, The Booty Shakers, and it's supposed to be feel good and stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of like made y'all choose the path of this type of music?
I feel like it's just kind of how it happened. Like, I mean, when we first moved to LA, it was like, we're gonna be an indie rock band. Like, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be like all these other bands that were doing it and sound a certain way. And then it kind of, I mean, pretty quickly after going to shows and hanging out in LA and meeting other bands, we're like, oh, everyone's doing the same thing. So, you know, we kind of just started listening to a lot of music, listening predominantly vinyl records, like as a whole, you know, putting on a whole record and listening to that and getting inspired by that, and then being like, oh, we want to do something kind of like that, or, you know, that would be cool. And then just kind of like letting the music come naturally, like organically, and then just going from there and seeing where it, you know, would take us. It would usually be Derek or Sam would come with a song or a part of a song kind of done or an idea, and then it was like they bring it in and we'd all work on it and make it into this thing, you know, where most of it was already done, and then we just fine tune it and, you know, make it into its own special thing, I guess. It's really just a natural thing. We kind of just try to trust ourselves and each other when we're making the music and see where it takes us and not try to make it any specific thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like, we're all pretty feel-good guys. We like to have fun. we're pretty loving and friendly and goofy, and I think that's just kind of shows through our music. But we can also rock too, you know, and we can get intimate and sensitive. But you know, it's just natural feelings. I guess that's coming through the music. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I often like when we get asked that question of like the sound, like where the sound comes from. And I think we sort of had that realization, like Trevor said, you know, from going from focusing on the sound to focusing on the song and letting the song dictate what the sound is going to be. And you know, when we showed our team like the album when it was in its infancy, you know, it was like all these songs are so different, all these sounds are so different. No one's going to know where to put you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, who cares? You know, like these are good songs. We want to put them out there. We don't want to sit on them, because when artists sit on their songs, they tend to get insecure about them, and sometimes it could ruin the work. So it's really like song driven, and like that craft is something that we've worked on and let that be the guidance, you know.
Yeah.
I pretty much
summed it up.
I got nothing to add to that. That's pretty much it.
Let's see.
We pretty much say the same stuff anyway. Yeah.
So, let's see. So, like, whenever, what do you want to do with that cement? Since everything's so different, what do you want people to take away from it? Just each, you know, your.
Good question.
I want people to take it and use it for what they want to use it for.
Yeah.
They should be able to make videos and make remixes and art and inspire, you know, whatever they want to get inspired by, and they're free to use that.
Or even just
you know,
using the music to help them through, you know, a situation, or you know, most that's what the songs are, things that we've gone through and dealt with, and you know, I've been helped by songs, you know, songs that have really like brought clarity to, you know, a situation that I've been in or something. You know, I think that's a great thing about music. I dig that a lot.
Yeah, music's always been there for us, so we hope that our music is there for people who listen to it. We're an independent band, and you know, we own all of the rights to everything that we make, but that doesn't mean we charge for people to use it. We own it because we don't want anybody to take it away from people once they've listened to it. Right. Because once music becomes a part of your life, I feel like you own it. You know, like the Beatles. You know, like the Beatles is a huge part of our life, and for so long it wasn't available on streaming. It wasn't available on.
Hard to listen to them.
It was really hard to listen to them. You had to buy
CDs
it. And I think that's wrong. You know, we think that's wrong. It's not cool to take away something that's part of somebody's life like that. You know, that like so many years have passed. It's like, come on. Mm-hmm. You know, that doesn't make any sense. So we want our music to be available to people no matter what, whenever. They can have it whenever they want, and they can use it for whatever they want, because we've been able to listen to music our whole life and never paid for it. Well, sometimes we paid for it, but like for the most part, you know, it's like our inspirations are something that, you know, came to us, so we should do the same for other people.
Awesome.
Yep. Second that. Huh? I said I second that.
Oh. I thought I was going to interrupt you.
No. Nah.
So, like, what are your, this is just me being curious.
Yeah.
Just talking to artists in general. What are your thoughts about, like, the music industry now? I mean...
you know, I think that it was speaking in the past tense. I think the internet is changing the world, and it's doing that in that you can communicate with people and create a following for free. Before, when the music industry was created, the one that still exists today, it was created in a time where the only way an artist could talk to its fans is through a big distribution channel, that was already set up through the record stores. You had to print posters and do newsletters and things that cost a lot of money to do to communicate to your fans. Now we can do it for free, and the source of income is also a lot different. The music industry was built on record sales. Those are almost non-existent. And Spotify is great, and Apple Music is great, and I'm sure these will be around, but who knows how long they'll be around, because they've just begun. They've just shown their face, and it's a cool way for artists to make money, but they're not making that much money. Our music's available for free on our website, and it's available to anybody because we don't want to get in the way of people listening to it. If we didn't come from money, so if people don't come from money, if they can't afford it, they should be able to listen to it no matter what. There's other platforms in which to make money. I think artists are making money, we're making money through merch. Mm-hmm. We're making money through touring, and we're trying to make money other ways. I think that eventually the model for artists, which I hope to help create, or we hope to help create, is artists teaming with their fans, and that being the business partner. Kind of like the Green Bay Packers, where they sold off a lot of their rights to the fans instead of to private investors. So the team gets to keep their autonomy of their business. They get to call the shots, and the win-win situation is that you have many investors who are they're non-powerful, but they're invested. They'll make money, and it's so much more of an incentive to support and love that team. I think that if artists can do that, if a football team can do that, artists can do that, and I think that the music industry is going to change and adapt to fit those circumstances. It already is. Record labels like Cobalt, label services, empowering the artist, and then just doing those services. Because if an artist has a following in the millions on Instagram, they could at any point speak to those millions of people, and that's a lot of power, no matter how you use it. You could use it to ask for a little bit of money, and I'm sure a percentage will give them money. They could be self-funded. But a lot of times before they get there, they sign away the rights, and it's up to a few investors to call the shots and make those decisions for an artist who's much more powerful than any investor. So I think that the music industry it just won't be relevant to sell off 75% of your business for $100,000. And most small businesses, if you're opening a cafe, you wouldn't take that deal, but you would take it if nobody else will invest in you, which is what happens to the artist. But I think that if you have 10,000 following, something like that, you have enough people to support your business and to propel you onto a platform where you don't need to sign away all of your rights. And it puts the artist in a position where they can ask the labels, we want this service, how much do you charge for it? And it's a completely different foothold in how an artist can make decisions, make art. Artists aren't allowed to release the music that they make. That's like if a painter couldn't put out their paintings without checking with 80 different people who, are just, semi-invested.
Right.
So that's what I think about that.
This is Sam.
Okay.
Sam, very nice to meet you.
Ooh, I thought you broke your finger for a second.
Back in business.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is we have great fans, and I think part of that is just us being ourselves, and that's what we really try to invest into is our fans and having a relationship with them, and really building that through social media and shows and connecting with them at shows and going out and hanging out afterwards after we play or before and just talking with them, because these are the people that are going to be around and keep us around, the people that believe in us, and I think that's what's going to do it.
And a message to other artists is that fans are much more easy to satisfy than investors and labels. So your fans got your back.
Sure.
Yeah, man, always.
Yeah, and we got theirs. That's our deal.
Yeah.